So this is a recruiter's call script question. So we have Idris on the call. It's going to be answering it the conventional way it should be answered. So let's begin. So hello, how are you doing today?
I'm very fine, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So my name is Pauline. I'm calling you this morning as I received your application for the role of a solutions architect. Is this a good time to discuss this role with you in detail?
Yes, definitely, Pauline. Go ahead.
All right. Can you briefly tell me about yourself?
Yes, Pauline. So my time the reason for my application is literally because I feel I'm potentially the best person for this position. I started my career within infrastructure engineering. I subsequently transitioned into DevOps engineering at my second position, which was in financial services. From that moment on, I honed in further on my skills, and I subsequently acquired a few accreditations, which moved me into the solutions architect sphere. This position came up to me because I feel like a lot of the skill sets listed on the job description match my abilities, as you can see from my CV, and as such, I think I'll be the right fit for this position.
Okay, thank you. So, who is your current employer?
Oh, my current employer is Barclays at this time.
And your position?
I'm currently a solutions architect. I've been doing the role for about a year now.
Okay, thank you. So what is your current situation around work?
My current situation around work. So since becoming a solutions engineer, I feel like at my time at Barclays, I'm not learning as much as I would like. I feel that perhaps my progress has been stalled a little bit. And as such, I'm deciding to venture off into other opportunities where I can develop my skill sets further, but also be able to influence a project and a process more so than business as usual.
Okay, all right, thank you. So what are your reasons for wanting to leave your current role?
As I explained, literally wanting to develop my skills that little bit more and take my career to the next step, but also wanting to be able to influence my current project or future project, so to speak. Currently, right now, we're at a point in the project where I've been there for a while. I understand everything that's going on, and we're more transitioning into the go-live, business as usual stage of maintenance and things like that. So as such, I want to start in a new, fresh project, ideally a greenfield project where I can really have influence over the process and the delivery of the project.
Okay, interesting. So are you interviewing anywhere else? If so, where and how many processes?
Yes, so I do have a first stage interview. Once again, it's financial services. Nothing has transitioned so far. It's a similar role to this one, so nothing too dissimilar to what I'm doing right now. But yes, one first stage.
Okay. So are you working in-house or as a consultant?
I'm a consultant right now, yes.
Okay. So can you walk me through your daily activities on your present role?
I can't delve too much into what I do technically, but my daily activities often involves me managing my team, managing the delivery of a mission critical project at this point in time. We are really going through the full skill set within AWS, the pillars of architecture, and we're just literally trying to deliver this project. In regards to the team I manage, I myself am a part of a team of 4. I run regular Scrum meetings in the morning. We have regular 2-week sprints, and we all have a catch-up session afterwards where we try to assist each other in where we've gone wrong and where we can pull in the right direction, so to speak.
Awesome. So can you tell me about a project that you recently worked on and what were your responsibilities?
Yes, why not? My most recent project over at Barclays was a project where we had to deliver a payment system that was going to go live in a short amount of time. It was mission critical. It was a new product that Barclays were releasing. It's yet to go live just yet. So it's a very recent project that is. And within this project, we're tasked to deliver this payment solution. And as such, my role as the solutions architect was to oversee the end-to-end life cycle of this particular project. I was responsible for my team their efforts within the development of the architecture and ensuring that all stages are covered, including testing, build, rollout, release, so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you. So do you work inside or outside of IR35?
Inside, usually. I'm not predisposed to taking an outside contract, but I'm very flexible. We can speak about rates at a later time if you'd like.
Okay, all right. So can you tell us the difference between inside or outside of IR35 for IT contract roles, please?
Yeah. From my knowledge of of inside and outside of IR35, usually inside is where I'll go through an umbrella company. I believe they will be my accountant. They will be able to ensure my taxes are done. But I suppose I benefit from having sick days and personal holidays being paid for. Outside is traditionally how I've done it in the past, where I've had my own limited company. I am the sole director, and then I'll be also responsible for my taxes, but obviously I get to keep a little bit more than I should. But we'll keep that between me and you.
All right, that's good. So what are your reasons for wanting to leave your current role?
So the reason, again, as I mentioned, is I want to develop my skill set further. Within my current position, I feel like I've gone as far as I could potentially have gotten, and I seem to be stagnating. Do not get me wrong, I like my team, I like my project, I like the position, they treat me very well, and I have added value to this project, but I feel like I'm ready to undertake a new challenge, a new opportunity, and be able to flourish and develop there.
Okay. So what is your timeline regarding starting a new job?
Standard contracting, it's usually 4 weeks is my notice period. However, I can supplement this with a few holidays, so potentially I can start in 2 weeks.
Okay, all right, that's nice. What will happen and when you hand in your notice?
It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I have a good rapport with my manager. We've been working with each other for a while. I'm sure he'll understand. We've had a few discussions about me wanting to do more, and at this point in time, I don't think it will provide anything for me. So as such, they'll be happy to let me go.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So why would you consider a permanent role coming from a contract background?
A permanent position has always intrigued me because with contracting, you see, you can be on one project, and fair enough, some of these projects can be very long. You can have 2-year-long projects. I myself have been in a year to 15 months is usually my average, and usually the longest I've contracted for. But whereas in a permanent role, you can really be embedded as part of the team, you can be embedded as part of the culture, but also have a big voice in shaping the culture. That's where I really see permanent being a lot better than a contract position. Contracting, again, is fine. I come in there, I know the job, I can do the job, that's fine, but I want to be able to be in a position where I can grow my skill set more, but still have more of a permanent effect, a permanent influence in regards to the culture and the work that's done here.
Okay. What would you say are the challenges of your current role?
The challenges of my current role, very good question. The challenges of my current role is so technically I can't see there being too much challenge. I think some of the challenges we seem to have is sometimes with the stakeholders we work with. They can say one thing and mean another. So sometimes the challenge is making sure our business requirements are gathered to a T and managing stakeholders' expectations accordingly in order to meet everyone's expectations ideally and make sure the work is done in the most efficient way possible. I would say that's one of the challenges I face. It's a softer challenge, so to speak, but technically I think my capabilities are sound. Communication-wise, I think I'm fine there too. But sometimes it's just working to a demanding client and being able to shape not my expectations, but shape my work practices around them. So that can be a challenge, but it's one I feel like I've overcome throughout my time working here.
All right, awesome. So what do you think about this proposed opportunity?
It's exciting. That's the reason why I've applied. So I feel like, having gone through the job description, I feel this is a tech stack I'm more than capable and more than familiar with. I feel like from the advertisement I've read, and I've done my own research regarding the company and what you guys do, I think it's going to be a right culture fit for me, a right professional fit for me. It seems like it could be somewhere where I can delve and really hone in on my skills, but also be able to give as much effort and as much quality of work as I've done so in my other previous experiences.
Okay. All right. So if successful, is there anything that will stop you from taking this position?
No, I don't think there's anything that will stop me from taking this position. Look, as I mentioned before, I do have an interview elsewhere, but this is firmly my favorite of the two. I think that this is more to my liking, and this is where I can add the most value. So if something else were to come up, I may consider, but I'll let you know now that this is potentially my favorite opportunity to go forward for.
Okay, so what would you say is your take on having holidays or taking time off on the job?
I suppose obviously work-life balance is definitely a good thing to come from work, and I think that with the culture, I have a culture where I believe hard work takes precedence over everything else, and we work to strict deadlines, and in my team we work to these 2-week sprints. And as such, I believe there's nothing wrong with taking time off. There's nothing wrong with taking holidays. I just want to get ahead of the work first, so that when we do take the time, we don't have anything to worry about. But obviously, if an emergency happens, of course you'll be entitled to take that necessary time off.
All right, we understand that. So what would you say are your hobbies?
My hobbies are pretty generic, pretty bland. I'm into computing, obviously, so I do a lot of work behind the scenes in my spare time. I'm always trying to keep up with the latest trends, and I'm always on YouTube trying to watch a few documentaries on the upbringings and the startups of a lot of these reputable companies that we admire today. Outside of that, I'm very big into sports. I love playing football. I love watching boxing, the usual. And then on top of that, I'm someone that's into movies and film and music as such. A man of culture, you would say.
All right, awesome. So what would you say is your salary expectation for this role?
For this particular position, I would say what was advertised is potentially what I'd be going for. I'm quite negotiable, so I am interested in seeing how well I perform at the interview, and as such, if they do want to come back with an offer, I'll be keen to listen as to where they deem my experience, and then we can make a judgment from there.
All right, thank you. So finally, do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do actually. First question: what would be the interview process for this position?
Oh yeah, so we have 3 stages. So the first call, then the second stage, which is going to be the technical one, then the final one will be like a HR interview, just to get to know you and the culture fit as well in the organization.
Okay. That's good. And then, from your experience, what would you say makes a successful candidate going through this process? Well, where would you say I should prepare the most for?
We are looking at your technical skills. We are looking at your soft skills as well. And some of the skills that we have at the moment is looking at client facing, because sometimes we need you to, go and do some of the initial discovery meeting calls with our client, and then get the bid that we do. Sometimes we do bidding for some projects. So these are the things that we're looking at in terms of your skill set, which is what we've seen on your CV that made us to have this discussion with you.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you. And then also, when would you say is the ideal start date, given that I may have a 4-week notice period? Does that work with the timeline for starting for yourselves?
Yeah, we're looking at that kind of amount of time, but if it can be shorter, I believe you said you can use some of your annual leave to actually make it shorter, so that's fine. But by the time we do all the paperwork and the onboarding process, that would probably take you for like a month, yeah.
Okay, and then what's the rate? What's the salary expectations for this position?
We are looking at between 60 to 70, but we have to discuss that internally to make sure that we are happy with other candidates that we are interviewing, and then review the experience and matching your experience against the job and other people that we have on the pipeline speaking to at the moment.
Okay. No, that's good. That's interesting to hear. See, I believe that's within my salary expectations as well. So, I think that would work for myself too. So, that's definitely a match on that side. Okay. No, thank you.